These are some talented, confident, younger players. Half of our top 8 bracket actually has accomplishments in the senior division, including both of these players. Look at these senior accomplishments here. I mean, we have a second place, a world's finalist here in Sebastian Lashmet on the right side of the screen.
Yeah, Benjamin also with the top 4 just recently in Honolulu and was stacking up some results. Top 8 in Peoria, top 4 in Toronto as well, and a senior finalist the year prior. So really been adding on the results and playing some pretty big time decks over here too.
Yeah, look at these decks. I mean, we have 2 titans right now in the format. Charizard EX here heading into this top 8 match versus Regidrago V-Star, but these players are well versed in Gardevoir. They're both heavy Gardevoir players in the past, but now we've got some different decks that they're bringing to our table here, but they're talented. I mean, Gardevoir alone is a difficult deck to pilot, so put these decks in these players' hands, and I have full trust we're going to see a good game coming up here.
Yeah, looks like we got a broken sleeve, so we'll give them a little extra time.
All right.
This is definitely a battle of the titans. The young gun players showing off that they've got some great accomplishments, ready to prove themselves now on the Masters stage, and the decks are terrifying. I mean, Regidrago into the Charizard matchup. Talk about scary for Christian. If he does not set up perfectly going first, you can lose all of your important basics, and we've seen just how volatile this matchup is already on stream yesterday.
Yeah, we did get to see this on stream yesterday, and it was a lot closer than we thought it would be. Both of these players have full potential to come out on top in this match that we're heading into, but it's all going to come down to the cards. You know, what do we see in the prize cards? What do we see in those initial hands, and how are they able to set up? And then if they're not able to set up, are they able to recover enough here in this matchup to stabilize for the later game? Both these decks, I mean, one in the Regidrago V-Star, it comes out in explosive turns. It discards so many cards. It gets rid of its resources to take those pivotal turns in the start of the game. But Charizard EX, it has that base consistency to be able to just, I mean, we saw the Radiant Charizard come out and just completely turn games around yesterday in our day 1 in this matchup, and then stabilize enough in the finals to just have the edge over Regidrago. So I'm excited to see if we see that same story play out, or if it's going to be a little bit of a different story this time around.
Yeah, we'll keep our eye on that Thornton, that Radiant Charizard, and that Defiance bands, because my goodness, it is terrifying when it all works out well, and so often we just see it. Yes. So both players will have a great opportunity here. What do you think about this for Sebastian on this side, as he's the only one who really has the experience at this table with the lights on him, being that he had a seniors match already presented in the finals.
Yeah, I mean, that could definitely come into play, and also it's seeing so much success at NAIC just recently as well. So I don't know, we'll have to see. I see a pink card in the prize cards though.
That's a good one. Yeah. Anything that says it's unfair, you should probably believe it.
Draw 2, buddy.
That can be quite a problem for your opponents to just go down to 2 cards and struggle. So we'll see if maybe Sebastian finds that at the right time. It's not in the worst spot.
No, it's right there in the middle. Benjamin on the other side having 2 Earthen Vessel. That can make it a little awkward finding those energies. We'll have to see though. We have the fist bump. We are getting into our Masters top 8 here. They have a lot of senior accomplishments, but they're in Masters now, and they're bringing it to our table in this top 8 starting off. Charizard versus Regidrago. And we're going to start off with some Pokemon coming out here. So we saw this matchup yesterday. Kyle, what do we need to see for the setup here from Sebastian?
Basic Pokemon. All of them. Get as many as you can as early as possible. It's so important to see this bench start to flood. And if you're going for the Rotom, probably means either you got a really good hand or a really bad hand. Either you need a lot of help or you already have Buddy Poffin and you're rolling in it.
Exactly. It's funny that those 2 things are polar opposites, but they could both be happening right now. I didn't get to see the hand yet, but Sebastian's going through here, getting all these cards laid out. I mean, this is like...
This is easy deck checking right
now. I know, but like placing them down after I mean, I guess I've never seen that before, but who knows? Maybe our previous seniors are bringing some new strats to the Masters division now.
I mean, I've seen players practice all sorts of stuff, and if this is what it takes to win, I guess we got to start doing
lining up the 20 energies. That was so funny. All right, so yes, we have the Rotom now off of that ball, that nest ball. Sebastian, let's see what he has for us for the rest of this turn. If it's going to be that explosive, good turn with the Buddy Poffin getting all those other Pokemon out, or if we're going to see an awkward hand, or the Pokemon are just in hand too. We see a Charmander come out here, a couple other Pokemon, but some that's a Charizard EX, Radiant Charizard. So really, that's the only baby that we see coming down.
Honestly, is enough. To see the Charmander means that you have the opportunity for the Rare Candy Pidgeot, Rare Candy Charizard, putting some early pressure on if you so choose. And that can be a lot of hit points to work with on the other side if you're Benjamin. How do you knock out a Charizard that early as if they're attacking you on turn 2?
Exactly, and that is so possible every time you face off against this deck. I love to see this. We're still shuffling up on Sebastian's side, but Benjamin is underway in his turn here now. This is the initial turn, the Earthen Vessel, getting rid of that Temple of Sinnoh here to get these energy out. So 2 Earthen Vessel were in the prize cards, but was able to have one in the opening hand. That's great, because we need to start seeing these energies to draw more cards with the Teal Dance and get those energy out and the Pokemon down to be able to put on the pressure in the next turn coming up for Benjamin as well.
Yeah, this, I mean, you can see the speed at which our players are playing right now.
I love
the actions haven't even finished on one side, and we're going right into it on the other. It's pretty cool to watch how fast they move and how much they respect the time, even in 75 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. We do have an extended timer, but our players are still working at a fantastic pace here. We saw a couple of cards in there in the prize cards for Benjamin as well, an energy switch, which is so important here. But one thing about this Regidrago deck, it recycles its resources with that Legacy V-Star move that it has. It's pretty cool. I like to see when the players choose to use it, because that is such a pivotal game-changing V-Star power. I mean, there's a reason you can only have one V-Star power each game, and that's a big one for Regidrago.
Yeah, it's very volatile. It's scary to use, but when you discard all of the bad stuff and then you go find the good stuff again, when you use that second Prime Catcher, you search out for more energy switching. It feels like one of the most overpowered abilities that we've seen in a long time.
I'll use 2 Ace Specs, actually. I mean, yeah, brutal. Teal Dance here popping off on this Teal Mask Ogerpon EX, drawing into an additional card here for Benjamin to work with. Nest Ball. Going to go back into the deck here to get another Pokemon out onto the field. We need to start seeing those Ogerpon, seeing the Regidrago, I mean the Regidrago especially, come out here for Benjamin. So there it is, and it's beautiful, the full art Regidrago V joining us on the field.
Yeah, this might be a situation where you only need one of these benched. It's more important to accelerate onto the Teal Mask Ogerpon, have that not only as a way to increase the amount of energies that you have in play, but also it's a pretty viable threat too. The Myriad Leaf Shower to combat the early Charizard, as soon as Sebastian sees one energy on each of those Pokemon, it's terrifying to think about what could possibly be on the other end of your Charizard. It's going to get knocked out quick.
Exactly. We have that Charmander. It's a fire type, but when it rare candies, it turns into a Terra Charizard EX dark type that is weak to grass. It's the return and the revenge of the bugs, essentially. That is what it's scared of, but we just have grass type here in the TCG. So that is definitely a huge factor here in this matchup for Sebastian that I'm sure he's fully aware of going into this matchup. But I'm sure Sebastian has also faced off against some other Regidrago.
This is so tempting. He doesn't want to play Squawkabilly, but also, my goodness, you drew everything you want to discard. So I think he'd just do it.
Gosh, wow.
Goodbye.
Whoa. Here we go. The 2 benched Pokemon. Squawkabilly's going to come down. We're squawking and season here for Benjamin. Let's see what these cards bring to his hand here now. Discarded all of those Pokemon. That's what we need to see. Those Dragon Pokemon hit the discard pile so we can utilize their moves once again on the Regidrago V-Star. So we are fully set up here on Benjamin's side, but not a single card played after that Squawkabilly. So I'm interested to see what those cards are. Sebastian, on the other hand, Charmander's safe. Pidgey is safe. If we see those rare candies, if we see those evolutions, we're going to start rolling here for Sebastian. We got a good game coming up, Kyle.
This is so safe from Benjamin. He has Nest Ball and Grass Energy. He could easily search out Teal Mask Ogerpon, have that additional energy accelerated, and really start to threaten. But I feel like this is almost like bait at this point. It's just, yeah, go for the early Charizard. Attack in.
Do it.
There's no way that I get multiple Grass Energies accelerated, and then boom, he just got it all waiting in hand.
Oh, we got layers of the mind games here, Kyle. You'll love to see it. Arvin here for Sebastian, searching us out pieces of these cards. We have the rare candy now into that Pidgeot EX. It's a big flying bird with a free retreat as well. Quick search getting kicked off for Sebastian as well. Any card to your hand, that is a piece of those consistency cards we've talked about so frequently with Charizard. But what is Sebastian's strategy going to start to shape up here?
Yeah, it makes no sense to start attacking in very often. Let's go, Sebastian,
quick
one time.
Search, quick search.
TCG.
Sebastian, love it here. We saw a wave from him at the start. Hi, Mom, what's going on? All right, we see these Buddy popping now, bringing out these extra Pokemon here for Sebastian within a Charmander as well as a Duskull. This is a new adaptation for the Charizard EX deck with that Dusknoir. It's running the engine to get those extra hit points out.
Yeah, the setup is so important at this stage for Sebastian. Continue to add these Pokemon onto the board and try to set up something to help out. You don't. I think the Charizard's important to have down, but you don't want to really attach energies to it.
Exactly.
Because then you walk into the Myriad Leaf Shower, but you also can't let your opponent just knock out triple Charmander Duskull with a Kyurem. So how do you go about this situation without overextending one way or the other?
It feels like one of those situations where if you make one slip up, it's gone.
Yes.
You know, you only have so many opportunities here, and if you mess up even once, your opponent will capitalize on it. So Sebastian is doing everything possible here, but has to walk that line, and it's definitely scary as the Charizard player. Now, the Force Seal Stone did come down onto that Rotom V, not being utilized yet. We're just going to see the instant charge into 3 additional cards here, and that is it that we see from Sebastian for the turn.
Yeah, this is nice from Sebastian. Fill the hand as much as possible. Hopefully get towards some of those staple pieces. You want to have access with the Force Seal Stone and the Pidgeot to search out that Thornton, Rare Candy, Charizard, and whatever else you may need if you're going to target down the attacker from your opponent. You have to be prepared for Kyurem to come down and wipe out 3 Pokemon, or for your opponent to play it slower and just take this Duskull knockout and you find your Defiance Band.
Yeah, you still have options after that happens, though. Once your opponent starts taking these prize cards, that's when other things start to unlock within your deck, and you're able to almost pick up on the back foot in these matches. But that's dangerous going against this Regidrago deck. And Kyurem, it was sitting right at the top of the discard pile before this Nest Ball was played. So we know it's there here for Benjamin, but we'll just have to see what route is taken from Benjamin in this particular turn. But either way, we're in a pretty brutal position here coming from Benjamin. Definitely holding a great turn here for the Regidrago. So we're going to see that Ultra Ball discarding 2 other ball cards into that Regidrago V-Star. Yeah,
this board setup is the tricky piece. He really wishes he hadn't seen Pheasantipity off of that initial Iono, because if you had an opportunity to have a Teal Mask Ogerpon here, you'd feel so much more comfortable. Instead, it is the V-Star ability being used. Tons of resources thrown away.
Woo. Legacy Star, 7 cards discarded. 2 are going to go back to your hand from the discard pile. Benjamin's combining them all together and taking out those 2. It's going to be that Iono as well as that Energy Switch, a common card that is drawn off because you need to do exactly this. Teal Mask Ogerpon that had that energy is being switched over to the Regidrago V-Star and now into an Iono as well. So those 3 cards that Sebastian netted from that instant charge are now gone. Both players putting those hands to the bottom of the deck, drawing 6 cards each for their prize cards. We have another V-Star evolution as well from Benjamin, and a fresh set of cards heading into this Regidrago V-Star, now in the active position, fully loaded up for some Apex Dragon action.
Frost them all! Woo! See you later. Trifrost triple knockout by way of copying that Kyurem's attack. It's so strong, it feels like you should never be able to use it with 5 energies, but Regidrago V-Star does not care. And this is the situation Benjamin was trying to set up. He saw his opponent with upwards of 8, 9 cards in the hand. Says, I need to use Iono. That's such a valuable resource here to manipulate my opponent's hand. I know that they need everything. They need the Thornton, Rare Candy, Charizard, Radiant Charizard, and the Band. And I gave them 7 cards to work with. Yes, they can search out 2 of those pieces, but hopefully they don't have the rest.
Boom, boom, boom. 3 knockouts on that side. Benjamin takes 3 prize cards, puts all of that weight against Sebastian here, left with that Pidgeot EX and that Rotom V. And it's exactly like you said, Kyle. You're just waiting for your opponent to make something happen, but you've put them as much on a back foot as possible here. So Sebastian definitely making sure to assess the discard pile from Benjamin's side to see what's already been played here, to see what the rest of these turns are going to look like in this game. But Ultra Ball is going to be sought out here, discarding 2 of those small Pokemon in the Charmander and Pidgey to get a Charizard EX and thin out that deck here for Sebastian.
Yeah, I don't know if the rest of the pieces are there. It looks like the 2 searches have to go for the Rare Candy and the Thornton, but Counter Catcher is available, and maybe that means that you start to eye up a different threat at this point.
Look at slam!
That is the flexiest Thornton we've seen.
It's not only a full art rainbow secret rare Thornton, but it was just slammed down on the table here. Sebastian utilizing that quick search into that V-Star power on the Forest Seal Stone from the Rotom V. Thornton is going to allow 2 basics to be swapped here. Because that Rotom V was already in play, it's being evolved now from that Rare Candy into the Charizard EX. We're seeing the Infernal Rain ability rain down these fire energy onto the field, and this is what Sebastian has been waiting for. This is what this deck does here within Charizard EX. It responds to its opponent, but will it be enough, Kyle?
Yeah, I think this is pretty strong. With the Counter Catcher in hand, you can switch over to targeting down Pokemon like the Teal Mask Ogerpon instead. And that way, you just choose one weakness that your opponent's representing at this stage, and clearly that answer is Energy Acceleration.
Yeah, the more energy Benjamin sees, the better the odds become on that left side of our field. So Sebastian definitely taking note of that here. We see the energy come down, that 3rd energy from the Infernal Rain onto that Pidgeot EX.
Getting busy with the bird?
Getting busy with the bird. It's flying around. It's hanging out. And Sebastian carries on. Here we go. We see that Counter Catcher. Sebastian is behind in the prize card race here, which is unlocking that card to bring up this Ogerpon EX that has so much threat on the board. Sebastian gives it a nice, good punch here, taking out that EX for 2 prize cards.
Throw the Forest Seal Stone at that Ogerpon.
Oh, you love to see it, the animations here from Sebastian. I'm living for it, Kyle.
I just have a visual of him chucking a book at him. Just get out of here.
Oh, exactly. Well, Benjamin on the other side, calm, cool, collected here, weighing all the decisions, not taking those punches lightly. We're going to see that promotion of a small little hoot in here. This is a new adaptation for Regigiago with the Hoot Noctowl line that we've been seeing. A 1-1 in most stacks, 2-2 in the Believers of the Double Knock for Regigiago. So that's just a Hoot inactive right now for Benjamin, but potentially searching out some item cards if it evolves.
And for Benjamin now, he's got to consider what resources do I have left. I've already used my Legacy Star. I've seen a lot of cards go by the wayside here. Prime Catcher looks like a pretty great piece to have, but you can't accelerate very many energy at this stage of the game. It's unfortunate. You almost have to take a turn off here in order to accomplish something. And this is the last Ogerpon, I believe, as one was discarded off the Legacy Star.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, that really has been the story of this match so far, Kyle. The lack of Ogerpon. I mean, we need the green guys here. One's being sought out now off of that Nest Ball, but we didn't have it before. It was just a singular Ogerpon. That is the threat with the grass. We have another one coming out, which would unlock that Noctowl if we had it too. But Benjamin is, like you said, just going to have to almost take a beat here in this match.
Shaking his head, he's kicking himself. He's thinking about what could have been with that second Teal Mask Ogerpon benching, maybe on that turn 1 that we talked about. Just throw the energies on the board. It's so nice to know where they are. It's great to have opportunity with Noctowl if your opponent plays Iono on you, gets you down to just 3 cards. But you also have Pheasantipity to protect you there. I think the energies are just a little more valuable.
I agree with that. Yeah, the energies are what are energizing your attacks here. So it is important to rescue yourself in the later game and have those recovery options. But now it's leading to this situation right here. But now that we do have that Terra-type Pokemon out, Noctowl is unlocked here. searching out those cards here for Benjamin.
Yeah, the Jewel Seeker. We've seen this go for all sorts of shenanigans. The defensive Noctowl is never a spot you want to be in. Is there any two cards more defensive than Super Rod Iono, especially when your opponent has Pidgeot in play?
Exactly. Any two trainer cards you want to be taking the offensive routes and searching out like gusting options and other things that are going to lead you into an advancement. But this is definitely these are recovery options here and disruption options. Super Rod being utilized, 2 energy, and a Pokemon going back into the deck now. And that Iono off the Jewel Seeker, I'm sure is going to be utilized here to throw a little bit of disruption in the way. But how far will that get us for Benjamin? Energy Switch can be utilized as well to get that second grass needed here for Benjamin. And then look at the rest of the hands.
It's not pretty. It's a lot of pieces that require assistance, and it's just not on board right now for Benjamin.
Taking a beat, that's not where you want to be. Going against Charizard EX, this giant Pokemon still in the active, untouched here for Sebastian. So that's just another turn you're giving over to your opponent for them to be able to capitalize on that. So we'll have to see what happens. Benjamin is still technically leading here in the prize cards, but that also means that more cards are unlocked here for Sebastian as well as far as what's in his deck. He's going into the deck now with that Nest Ball. I love how we see the entire discard pile.
Yes, this is
great.
I noticed Sugiyoshi Yamato doing this back in like 2004, and I was like, oh, that's just the best way to play Pokemon. Just download as much information as you can and don't take that time to look over at your discard pile instead.
Yeah, and it makes it a lot better for casting too.
Thanks.
For sure.
Shout out Chris. Sebastian.
Appreciate that. Well, look at this. This is the combo of the weekend for sure for our Charizard players. That Radiant Charizard coming down from that Nest Ball. The energy is attached to it now from Sebastian. How do you feel about this, Kyle?
I like it. You need an opportunity to close out in this game. Your opponent has to take prize cards, and it seems like there is enough resources to close out with the Radiant Charizard if the Charizard EX here were to fall. And with the energies on the Regidrago, it's the safest place, but you know your opponent could easily just move those back onto the Teal Mask, and you need an answer.
Here we go. The answer here to the prize cards for Sebastian, taking out another 2 prize card Pokemon here within that Pheasantipity. No recovery options here. Gonna put another step in Benjamin's way. Take an additional 2 prize cards here. Now Benjamin has to choose what to promote.
That's the promotion I like to see.
Yes, that's a scoop. That is not a promote. And that is going to be Sebastian now taking this Game 1, punched his way into a win here in our top 8 match.
The aura of this young man is going crazy right now. Every attack was an assault, literally throwing a fist at his opponent, and it leads to what was a flawless dismantlement after your opponent stole 3 prizes out from under your nose.
Exactly. I mean, that was fantastic. Of course, Benjamin did everything possible here. Maybe is going to lean a little heavier into the Ogerpon in this upcoming match, but let's take a quick look back at the replay of what happened between these players in this Game 1.
Yeah, it's spooky season. You got to wear your mask as early as you can. We did not see it this time around. The Hoot benching on that second turn was just pretty unfortunate for Benjamin. Could have led into the Teal Mask. Instead, had to go very aggressive. You go with the Kyurem like you're supposed to. You take the big knockouts. Your opponent has all the pieces, as they should, with Forest Sealstone and the Pidgeot. It leads to this Charizard running rampant, taking knockouts, taking the Pheasantipity off the board, and checkmate virtually established here.
Checkmate. That is brutal to see, and now we're starting to see why Sebastian made it to a finals at a World Championships in the seniors division, because we see the skill on showcase here on our table in Louisville, Kentucky now in the Masters division. So hopefully trying to do that again in this Game 2 for Sebastian, but Benjamin is still standing in his way. I mean, Benjamin's deck has the capability to bring down this Charizard EX, stop those punches from happening, either taking out those Pokemon with Kyurem or using weakness of the Teal Mask Ogerpon potentially to take out the Charizard EX, but Sebastian knows that and is playing around it flawlessly.
Oh
no.
I saw some prize cards.
Oh, I'm excited to see the prize cards too, Kyle, which way this is going to go, but it doesn't sound good. We have the fist bump. We're kicking off our game 2 between these players. Benjamin's going to start us off on the left side here with a nest ball searching out a Pokemon. What are these prizes? Wow.
Yeah, imagine you go first. You don't have access to the Squawkabilly if your hand's not great, and you also lose out on your pink card, that Prime Catcher. Super unfortunate to get that information early, but at least you're getting that information now. Going first, playing the nest ball, and starting to get what hopefully is some semblance of a strong setup.
Yeah, going first is huge here for sure. Trying to start things off strong against Sebastian. Not give Sebastian those beats, those extra turns to be able to work with for the latter half of this game. So Benjamin's going to look through the deck. Make sure to keep track of that. It's pretty easy to spot or not spot a giant pink A-Spec Prime Catcher, so that's definitely going to be downloaded into the brain for some information there. The Teal Mask Ogrepon is our active Pokemon starting out as well for Benjamin here, and we're bringing out that Regidrago onto the field with that nest ball. You saw a little shake of the head there from Benjamin.
Yep, it's just, you understand that this is unfortunate. You're already down a game early on, and things aren't exactly going your way. We'll see if the hand has anything to say about it. It's not that bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Maybe one energy here off of a Teal Mask would feel great, but this is also a really safe approach here too. You just play that energy, avoid having to use that additional resource of an energy switch, especially when things aren't going your way.
Yeah, that is not a bad hand at all, but establishing those Pokemon turn 1, passing it over to Sebastian.
Boo.
What?
What is this hand?
I saw a Charmander, a Buddy Buddy Poffin. We have a nest ball here. It's broken.
It's broken.
This is what you want to see as a Charizard EX. Hey, this is why I chose Charizard, all right, for this event. Right. All my eggs are in the Sebastian basket right now,
That's
all right?
a great basket to be in. My goodness. This looks so great for him right now. Also, to have the Rotom and the Forest Sealstone ready to go, too, as early as turn 1. Like, he can still find whatever supporter he wants to go along with this. This is the best.
Yeah, this is nice and easy, smooth sailing here for Sebastian. Exactly what you want to see. You see a look at the prize cards as well. A couple of Pokemon here that are 2 of copies in this deck within that Pidgeot EX and the Charizard EX. They're sitting in the middle there. But yeah, Sebastian has ways to work around these prize cards. Just has to keep note of those for the future. But we just need to see Pokemon here from Sebastian, and we're getting there with this Buddy Buddy Poffin here to establish these Pokemon out. The cards for the latter turns for Sebastian are great in the hand here as well. So solid start from our Charizard player, going second.
Yeah, and I love that even in this setup, you're thinking about multiple turns down the road. That Duskull, grabbing that Pokemon, it allows you that opportunity to maybe get aggressive in a spot where your opponent hasn't shown much strength. It's just been a nest ball, an attachment, and a pass of the turn. There's no guarantee that they're going to have that Kyurem to take a big knockout, copying that with the Regidrago V-Star. So if you find yourself at a point where you can get aggressive, you play that Duskull, and you evolve into Dusclops, you could take a big knockout turn too and just keep on rolling.
Exactly. We still have the nest ball supporting as well, bringing down another Pokemon here. 2 Charmander, a Duskull, a Pidgey. We got the Rotom V as well for some instant charging into some additional cards here from Sebastian. This is beautiful. This is what you want to see being a Charizard player. So the sun is shining down on that dark lizard.
Now, we see the extensive shuffle here, so maybe it is just an instant charge with the Rotom, not even playing a supporter for the turn. But the hand is, the hand is super strong. You might not need to go for the additional resource here. And he just says, you know what? Yeah. I'm pretty fine with this. I'm just going to draw 3 extra cards and have this ability to go for the Thornton play once more if you just actually have it all.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're seeing here. Rotom V, it gets that little Forest Seal Stone attached to it for the later turns, and it instant charges to draw a couple cards, and we're off here for Sebastian.
Oh, these are the dangerous spots. I don't know what the other card is there for Benjamin, but if it's not a supporter and you just have to YOLO. No,
it's a Professor's Research. Okay, I saw it, yeah. Okay. We're chilling.
The YOLO Legacy would be a nightmare. You have no resources in your discard pile that you even want. You need to see some good cards here if you're Benjamin.
Yes, yeah. I saw that in the later turn. I figured that's why the Ultra Ball was pretty good, discarding the Kyurem. Did have to discard one of those Steel Mask Ogerpon, but that research is huge here. Playing it down, drawing a fresh 7 cards, not having to discard a single card after that. But what are those 7 cards, Kyle?
Well, one of them's Earthen Vessel, thankfully, added to the hand. 2 additional energies there to help out. You could search out the fire to attack with the Regidrago, or you understand that you need to draw a couple more cards. This hand has no energy switches in it right now, and that is the #1 resource you need to perform your attack.
Yes, Energy Switch. It's a key card in this deck. I don't even think the deck would function without that. It really wouldn't. It would be very, very bad. And it's all thanks to that card. I mean, that's why you see that card recycled with that Legacy V-Star so often, because it's pivotal to getting those energies accelerated to the Regidrago V-Star to be able to attack as soon as possible.
Yep.
So we're going to see this first teal dance. We're dancing, Kyle.
1 energy for the retreat, 1 energy for the Energy Switch, hoping to find some helpful resources. Fire Energy and Energy Switch are the 2 big pieces here.
Yep. We need the fire energy.
Switch was found.
For the attachment,
that actually is it. With the Energy Switch, if you use Legacy Star, you can go back and find that Earthen Vessel that you used and go find the fire energy.
That is true. So it's secured. It's just between the fact that we didn't hard draw into it for Benjamin, but it can still be utilized with that V-Star. But playing a couple cards first, Nest Ball, going to get that Pheasantipity EX out of the deck.
Yeah, something like the Noctowl here would have been pretty phenomenal. If you could use this attack, knock out triple Pokemon with the Kyurem, but then also not have to use your V-Star ability, you feel very comfortable. Yes, you still have that opportunity. You almost have to go for it at this stage of the game.
Yeah, comfy, cozy, but still needing to take those aggressive turns here, and this is one piece of that. Energy Switch. We have that first switch of the Grass Energy onto the Regidrago V-Star. We see the flip of that V-Star token back into the discard pile for Benjamin to select 2 cards back out and to be able to attack this turn with the Regidrago V-Star.
That was best case scenario there. Did not discard very helpful cards for the matchup and only sees that 1 energy switch is going to pull that right back. Found the fire energy itself, so you can add that to the hand too. And I think we see Benjamin online for a second attack this time around, which was not in the cards last game.
Yes, exactly. And we have those Pokemon already discarded from a couple of Ultra Ball there as well. And that is it. We see what we saw in Game 1 from Benjamin. Regidrago V-Star taking 3 prize cards off of 2 Charmander and a Pidgey. Triple knockout for those prize cards. It was not the pink card drawn to Grass and UEX will still help you out, though.
I don't think he's losing any sleep at night to that, though. This board state for Sebastian is super unfortunate. Just looking at 6 cards, hoping to find his way through, and this time does not have access to the Pidgeot, which really hinders your ability. It's just the 1 search from the Forest Sealstone now.
Yeah, Forest Sealstone wasn't utilized the last turn. You still have a way out to get some cards for yourself. And as we saw the Thornton play in the last game, could pop out for us again. But, I mean, you got to really rescue this from here. You're working off the back foot. We do see the Radiant Charizard in the hand already. Wait, what do we see here, Kyle?
This is madness. I think the answer to this problem is a nightmare, but it works. You can rare candy into Dusknoir, knock yourself out, and go into the Radiant Charizard on turn, what, 2, 3? What are we doing?
Yeah, this is turn 2.
Yeah.
This is turn 2.
4 prize cards on turn 2 for your opponent.
No way. Yeah, we're seeing the Pidgey come out as well as the Charmander from the Buddy Poffin here. Are the cards really lining up this effortlessly? We see the Radiant Charizard. Here's the fire energy down onto it now for Sebastian.
Okay, the Arvin instead. I was wondering, is there ever a world where you go rare candy into Dusknoir, take out the Hoot, and then you try to go for Counter Catcher into Pheasantipity at this point? But with the Unfair stamp, you now have the ability to get the hand disruption that you're looking for and also potentially search down, take out a Pokemon like that Pheasantipity, leave your opponent on no draws, and hopefully they just stay where they are.
Yes. You're hoping for the best here. Sebastian is already up a game, though, so definitely working with a lot here, especially in our extended timer. We still have just under 45 minutes left for these players. You see the pink card on the other side being drawn out here in that Unfair unfair stamp for the disruption. You draw 5, your opponent draws 2 here. And yeah,
poor
Curse
old
Blast.
Hoot Hoot.
Poor Hoot Hoot.
Didn't stand a chance. And this is cool too. Not only do you have the ability to take the knockout onto the Regidrago if you want, but if the unfair stamp does happen to find a card like that counter catcher and you really do want to put your opponent in a bad spot, you could target down that Pheasantipity without using the Forest Sealstone.
Yeah, I mean, this is everything. Sebastian's pulling out everything from the bag here. We saw the Curse Blast there, taking out that Hoot Hoot. It's gone. That's a prize card there. Radiant Charizard with the Defiance Band, being behind in prize cards, adding that additional 30 damage there. We have the unfair stamp for the disruption here from Sebastian. Everything's lined up here for us, Kyle.
Yeah, this is just
2 cards, too.
So cool for the deck list to go for the unfair stamp double counter catcher as opposed to what we classically see with the prime catcher. It gives you this opportunity to not use your supporter for the turn as just that Iono. Instead, you get to limit your opponent and continue to draw through. Not the resources that Sebastian's looking for here, but also some kind of cool plays lined up where you could remove your Rotom from the board if you're worried about 2 prize cards.
Yeah, it's actually true. That is a possibility here for Sebastian, but it's just going to be Collapse Stadium coming down into play, limiting those benches for both players. We saw the punch here from the Radiant Charizard. That is a clean knockout there on that Regidrago V-Star. 2 more prize cards, and that was a 3 prize turn there for Sebastian. Of course, having to sacrifice his own prize card within that Dusknoir. But Benjamin, now 2 prize cards left to take in this matchup. Regidrago V in the active position. Tons of resources have been used already. The Legacy V-Star has been utilized already. What is the hand after an unfair stamp? Is it unfair, Kyle?
A little bit. We see the Mew, so there's an opportunity to draw with the restart, but starting with the Flip the Script, there is an Ultra Ball as well, so thinning the hand down still possible, but where do you go from here? If actually finds the stadium, the one-of stadium. I was worried about how much bench space Benjamin would have to work with here, but now you can be a little more free with the use of that Mew.
Yeah, that's nice. Temple of Sinnoh bumping away that Collapse Stadium. The bench is open once again from that, which is great. And Benjamin has a couple more options here. The Flip the Script, a little bit of recovery there for Benjamin, thankfully, off of that unfair stamp. So the mitigation, thanks to the Pheasantipity EX. Thanks, Bird, once again.
And a lot of players might tunnel vision towards, oh, well, you need to take that 2 prize knockout, focus on Pokemon like that Rotom V, but there's plenty of attacks that win the game right here for Benjamin. You have the right Pokemon in the active spot. Just give yourself the ability to draw into as many energy switches possible, and you can clear the game with Dragapult or the Kyurem, just something to take those 2 easy prize cards.
Yeah, we'll see what we have here for Benjamin. We saw the Earthen Vessel discarding that boss's orders. Now we're seeing the draw of these Teal Dance
you already
abilities.
You already had access to the Fire Energy. That's not a card you want to see, but it looks like there's a way to play this hand down to 0 and draw with the Mew. And important to note, too, that 1 prize that was added back into the deck, do you remember? It's the Prime Catcher.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
So there's a few other things that you can work with there. If you don't find the energy switch, you could slow down your opponent, maybe bring up a Rotom.
That's pretty nice to get off of your opponent blowing up its own Pokemon.
Well,
I get a Prime Catcher.
I guess we like Radiant Charizard in the active too.
Yes, that's true.
Let's just find energy switches.
Yes, we still need some energy switches here. Regidrago V-Star is on the board now from Benjamin here, but we need those energy switches to be able to charge it up. So Benjamin gonna bench this Mew EX. We have the Fire Energy attached for turn, a fresh hand of 0 to be able to draw up 3 cards with this restart ability off the Mew EX. Let's see what they are, Kyle.
Oh, Professor's Research is found.
Baby.
Looking for some energy switches to help get the job done here in game 2.
Yeah, we've seen the Pheasantipity. We've seen, oh, is that nothing? I don't see one.
I don't see it. I think I see the Cologne and a couple Nest Balls there. Missing altogether.
We had the Flip the Script. We had the restart here. We had some thinning down of other cards from Benjamin, and we even had both of our Teal Dances activated, but we just could not get some switching here from Benjamin.
Missed on everything.
Sheesh.
And now what do you go for? Is this set up another Regidrago in case something happens? Can you close out with a Pokemon like Teal Mask Ogerpon here? There's no guarantee your opponent tries to work out closing out the game with the Charizard.
Gosh. Yeah, it's brutal to see our Regidrago players falling to itself, essentially. Is this Regidrago V-Star or is this Brickadrago? Oh my gosh, well, we're seeing Benjamin try to work with this.
Canceling
so
Cologne.
Yeah, here you go.
Wait, what?
Oh, wait. You couldn't even attack. Anyway.
You turned off my heart.
My excited heart. It's no longer excited. Oh. Yeah, this is rough here from Benjamin. Just nothing falling in the right order here as far as the cards go. It's just unfortunate to see. I mean, what do we even have in the rest of this hand to work with? Nothing.
It's bad.
It's nothing.
There's no.
That's it.
There's nothing that even leads to happiness on the other side. You're truly just waiting to see what your opponent's capable of.
Oh, we're seeing a top deck. What was the top deck? Oh my gosh. Are we going to see it again,
That's
Kyle?
crazy.
Are we going to see it again?
Briar.
Charizard EX, we've seen the full utilization of Briar from the Charizard decks. We saw it yesterday in the same exact fashion. If your opponent is remaining with 2 prize cards and you knock out their Pokemon with a Terra Pokemon, you take an additional prize card. And that would be enough here for Sebastian. I mean, this is just wild, Kyle.
Just looking to see how the resources line up at this final spot. You have the Charizard you can search with the Forest Sealstone now.
All right. Oh, yeah. Wow. We didn't even use the Forest Sealstone yet.
He's been holding on to his resources this entire time.
Exactly. Holding
now has access to accelerate these energies, has enough to actually retreat the Pokemon and move into the active spot here with the energy in hand.
It's got to be, yeah. It's incredible here. This Radiant Charizard has to jump out of the active. It is able to do that here now. Jumping out of the active with those 3 energy. Charizard EX fully charged up here. We see the Briar to take an extra prize card. And the knockout Sebastian Lashmet is advancing into top 4 here in our Masters division. Oh my gosh.
Sebastian, what do you desire? It, of course, is the Briar.
Oh, love to hear it.